spicy first weekend of EU and NA LCS playoffs. It's time to hand out our honorable player awards for the guys who had their best performances from their sets over the weekend. Got to start off in EU because that's where the action started off. And the first series of the weekend was Splice taking on Roccat. And I got to give the honors to my boy Nisqy in that mid lane. This guy probably had the most, I don't know, question marks. I definitely had the most question marks about him on this Splice roster. And boy, did he deliver in their matchup against Roccat. KDA of 34. Is that good? I'm not quite sure. 32% of his team's damage and over half of the team's total kills. The first game in this set, he just went absolutely insane on the Kassadin. Yeah, that's a pretty easy champion to go kill steal on, but he looked fantastic on it. He survived the laning phase. He was actually ahead in CS for a lot of this. I thought for sure he's been the weakest link on this Splice roster throughout the regular season, but he was not a weak link by any means in this matchup. And Roccat, a team that really plays through their mid lane in blank there, he just completely outplayed him. He played 3 different champions in this one. I already mentioned the Kassadin. Seeing here that Orianna he was solid on, hit some big shock waves, and again, no issues in the laning phase on that one. And then game 3, he was playing the Swain, which apparently is just a totally out of control champion, as we saw in both the EU and NA playoffs. A pretty highly coveted champion in that top lane or the mid lane. That's one of the reasons it seems to be so strong, is because of that flex capability. So Nisqy, absolute animal for Splice against Roccat. Super clean set overall from them. That's a team where we've said for pretty much the whole split that bot lane is their main carry threat, where they're going to go through with Kabe and Kasing. They didn't really have to do much this set because Otawamne, Xerxes, and Nisqy, that whole top side of the map for Splice, were just playing so fantastically well for them, and that's why they secure the 3-0 over Roccat. I kind of thought they'd have a pretty relatively easy time against them, and they did. Second set in EU was H2K taking on Vitality in the 4-5 matchup, and this series was a whole lot closer than I thought. The most interesting matchup we previewed, the matchup to watch, was that bottom lane. Mini Trupax taking on Sheriff, and it was Mini Trupax who came out ahead in game 5, securing the 3-2 series win. Both those marksmen played super well in this set, but if we take a look at Mini Trupax, 6.3 KDA, 816 damage per minute. Sheriff actually had slightly higher than him. He was the only player to top him in the playoffs in EU, and 42% of his team's kills. That was just some insane carry games from both Sheriff and Mini Trupax, playing a couple different champions. The Tristana, highly coveted, obviously the Caitlyn for both of these guys, and just a really amazing duel there from 2 rookie 80 carries. Boy, EU just keeps pumping out this insane talent. Even when guys leave to NA, they just groom some new guys. Sheriff and Mini Trupax, the future is looking bright for 80 carries in EU. Sheriff, by the way, playing the Ashe in that game 5, maybe a bit of a questionable pick, but he still almost carried on that champion even when they were quite behind in this matchup. They got super behind early, and he was still outputting ludicrous amounts of damage on that Ashe. And it was just a very interesting series overall, but I wish I could give that award to Sheriff as well. But I mean, you got to go to the guy who actually won the set. That's why you're giving it to Mini Trupax. He's the most honorable guy on Vitality. Shoutouts to Jizuki as well. He had some questionable Talia ults, but for the most part, he had some fantastic walls. He was playing great, carrying some of these games as well. But he had a few too many questionable moments for me to give him player of the series or the most honorable teammate for that set. That's why it's going the way of Mini Trupax. Over to North America. We already talked about a couple of these series, but the standout players for me in that Liquid Cloud9 set, it's got to be Doublelift, the man who's looking to win a title with his 3rd different NA LCS squad. That KDA there, in case you don't know that symbol, it's infinity. He did not die in 3 games against Cloud9. Still put up 39.3% of his team's damage and had half of the team's kills. 2 Caitlyn games and a game of Jhin, which he has been absolutely lights out on the last couple of weeks since they threw a couple of buffs his way. I mean, this guy has been the main carry, or one of the main carries on every squad that he's been on. Had a bit of a midseason slump, but that's mainly because the entire Liquid roster had a bit of a midseason slump. He looked great on this Caitlyn. You've seen this Baron steal again that just early on seemed to be the end of Cloud9. But Doublelift was flashing Orianna ults. Nice meme. He was actually using it aggressively here after the whiff on that 90 caliber net. But that doesn't matter. His positioning was great throughout this entire series. Again, much like the Sheriff mini True Packs matchup, Nisqy and Doublelift. Nisqy was the basically only shining light for Cloud9 in this set. He played super well as well. He had similar numbers to Doublelift in a lot of these games. Similar damage outputs, and he was playing a lot of Ezreal, which makes it even more impressive because nobody seems to do any damage on the Ezreal. But Doublelift just got the better of his, I don't want to call them rivals. They don't really seem to have a rivalry, but they've both been at the top of the AD carry poll for a very long time in North America. But Doublelift gets the last laugh here. Team Liquid moves on to the semifinals. They're going to be taking on Echo Fox in the next round, the semis. So Doublelift looking very good, and Liquid as a whole looking very solid. TSM versus Clutch. 3-1 Clutch. In case you forgot, biggest upset in the history of the NA LCS. Most honorable guy on Clutch. You could go for a couple of guys. Febivin and Apollo both had absolutely ludicrous KDAs put on their carry pants. But you got to go to Hakuho in the bottom lane. This guy was playing out of his mind. Not only was vision control so heavily in the favor of Clutch throughout this set, a lot of that, you got to say, goes to Hakuho, but he was also, the first game he played Braum, games 2, 3, and 4, all on Thresh, and this guy seemed to make at least 90% of his hooks and could not miss when they mattered the most. The big playmaker for Clutch, no doubt, in this set, just getting them ahead. Some of his hooks, like, I don't know how that hit Sven. Sven was just a hook magnet in this series. It didn't matter where he was. Even if he seemed like he might have been in a good position, he was just constantly getting caught out by these hooks by Hakuho. And pretty much everyone on TSM was. The aimbot was definitely on for him here. They didn't ban it out. 3 games they kind of got destroyed by it. They did not ban it out. Also didn't ban the Swain that was put in a hurt at the hands of Febivin on TSM. But they were banning Morgana a lot in this set. Hakuho drew 8 support bans, excuse me, throughout this set. So he is the most honorable player in this set. And take a lesson. When you win a game, honor your support. They don't get enough love. They don't get enough attention. It's always, oh, look, the AD carry had a good score and did a lot of damage, so he's the MVP of the team. He should get all the honor. No! Show some love to Hakuho. He had some great lanterns, great engages. Even when he's dying, he's getting down key Thresh ultimates or landing a hook on someone before he died. So shout outs to Hakuho, who put up a fantastic performance for Clutch Gaming. 3-1 over TSM, right when TSM's getting their playoff buff and looking like they're going to go to their 11th straight finals. Hakuho says no and denies them that right. Those are your standout performers from the quarterfinals. There's going to be plenty more to choose from coming up